Hello, and welcome to our Faith Conversation podcast here at East Stroudsburg United Methodist Church, where we talk about life, we talk about how faith affects our decisions, influences our lives, how we work in the community. And so we talk about different topics. We're so glad to have Ed today on our show.
Thank you,
Ed,
Pastor.
welcome. Yes.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been married 49 years,
Okay.
going to be 50 in November.
Uh-huh.
I am a born-again Christian,
Okay.
along with my wife. I was a Roman Catholic for a long time, but we
Okay.
became born-again Christians. I have one child, one daughter, who owns her own business. She's 39 years old. I have been working with adults with developmental disabilities since July 10th, 1990.
Wow. Wow. Have you always lived here in the Poconos?
No, I was originally born and raised in Brooklyn. Many people tell me they can hear the accent. Got married in Brooklyn, and we headed west. After Brooklyn was Staten Island. After Staten Island was New Jersey, and my wife and I are up here since 2005.
2005.
Yep.
Do you like it here?
Yes, very much.
That's wonderful.
Very much.
That's wonderful. So we'll come to your work with CARES, but before that, can you share any work experiences and things that you've done?
Sure. My first real paying job was at 16 being a staff for McDonald's, and I went up the ladder to general manager. I left there, became a Radio Shack store manager for several years. After Radio Shack, I went into a few retail, and it just wasn't hitting me. And Donna's best friend at the time had been in this field from graduating college. And she said, "Why don't you try it?" I tried it, and the rest is history. I mean, I've held the direct care position. I've been assistant manager like I am now, assistant director of residential, and assistant director of day programs.
Amazing. Now, I know we call you Ed around here, but what's your full name?
My full name is Edmond Winkeleer.
Wow.
Yep.
That's such a cool name. That's such a cool name. So, it looks like you've done a little work around and retail managing
Yes.
things. So how did you end up doing this work with CARES, and explain what CARES is all about?
Okay. I wound up with CARES. I had a life share living with me at home. That is offering your home to someone who is disabled and they live with you.
Okay.
I decided I was getting too old. My wife also. We just didn't want to do it anymore. And I applied to CARES. Jessica, my supervisor, and my old supervisor when I was a DSP, interviewed me Zoom because COVID was just ending. They hired me as a DSP. I really didn't want to get into management again. And what happened is in our old program in Shawnee, we got so big we couldn't stay there. So we split. Jessica opened up half of the program at Faith Church in Stroudsburg,
Yes.
the other half here, but she didn't have a program specialist. So with all my experience, she asked me to interview. I first told her, I don't want to get back into management. But she asked me again. I talked it over with my wife, and my wife's like, "Why not? You've been around the block 100 times." I interviewed. She and Corey, her supervisor, hired me. And I've been here since October 28th when we came on over.
Beautiful,
Yep.
beautiful. So if somebody is listening, and we get this podcast is on our Facebook page, is also on our YouTube page.
Okay.
We put it on our website, and it's sometimes put on other social media platforms. So people, they watch different episodes because we have different topics.
Right.
So now that we're talking about CARES, some will hear about Ed and say, "Hey, so what exactly do you do?" And if just short version of what CARES is all about.
CARES is all about serving adults with disabilities.
Okay.
We have 8 day programs.
Okay.
And what we do is we are community based. I've worked for programs where the VIPs come in, spend the day in here, doing whatever, our jobs. We are totally community based. like you see, no one's ever here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday between 9:15 and 2:45.
Correct.
We volunteer. We have a staff with 3 VIPs volunteer. We volunteer for ESUMC
Absolutely.
on Mondays with one group
Yes.
in the food pantry. We volunteer on Wednesdays with 2 groups up in the food pantry. We have other food pantries we go to. We clean and organize churches, Bibles, clean the pews, the hymnals. We go to 2 thrift stores who ask us to remove hangers and or dust. We also have a lot of social activities. Guys like to go bowling, the movies. Now that the weather's getting better, trail walks, soccer games. Tomorrow we are going to have our first outdoor barbecue, and we will do that frequently on Fridays because on Fridays no one has to bring in a packed lunch like the rest of the week. We cook, whether we're in here or whether we're having a barbecue. On Tuesdays, we do have a shopping day that the VIPs can shop. On Thursday, like today, they can eat out if they choose to and also shop again.
Wonderful.
So we're in the community a lot.
Wonderful. So how are you guys funded?
We are funded through the county, and every VIP has a waiver, and depending upon the waiver they have, they get so much funds to either come 5 days a week, get transportation back and forth if they want it, come 4 days a week, which we have a few folks who do that, or come 3 days a week. But we don't. None of the waivers will fund 2 days a week.
Okay. I have 2 other questions. Like the word cares, does it mean a particular something? Is it a short form of something?
Yes.
And also, I wanted to ask you about how people get into the program.
Okay. CARE stands for Community and Residential Empowerment Services.
Okay.
What happens to get
Please say that again. Yeah.
Community and Residential Empowerment Services. That's what CARE stands for.
Okay.
How you get into the program is at 18, anybody with the disability is eligible. They have to have what's called a supports coordinator. The supports coordinator will refer them to CARES, DES, other type of agencies. We have gotten referrals from existing supports coordinators.
Okay.
I've also gotten referrals from new supports coordinators that I didn't know. We were fortunate that we got 6 referrals in March and April.
Mm-hmm.
Today, a young man joined us. He is our 5th referral.
Wonderful.
In June, we're going to have a young lady join us. She will be 6th. So we will be going from, and we had 1 move away.
Okay.
So we will be going from 15 VIPs in March to 20 at the end of June.
Wonderful.
And we still can get more
Yes.
because when people are graduating now, okay, and at 18, mom and dad are probably going to look for day programs for them.
Okay.
So, and we can have a total of 24 in our program.
24 in our program. I was just going to ask how many are in the program, but
Right.
it looks like you've given the number. So, wow. So the day is set up in such a way that they have activities between, like 10 to 2:45. And then after 2:45, do they go back home?
Yes. Some are picked up by parents or caregivers. Most are driven by our staff. Our staff pick up several in the morning. They have an agency car, so they don't have to use their own car.
Okay.
They come in. We go ahead and execute the day. At the end of the day, everybody comes back. And usually it's the same people that came in, let's say with me, I will take them home. But we have one gentleman who joined us today who's going to drive himself back and forth.
Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep.
That's amazing.
So he doesn't need our transportation.
Wow. So what brings you joy in the program?
Well, I've fell in love right away with the experience of working with my population. on July 10th, 1990. It just is something that hand in glove just clicked. And what I see, what I really enjoy is watching them grow. For example, we had a young lady, not very social, who joined CARES about 2 years ago. Now she talks to everybody.
Wow.
We have somebody who had boundary issues. When he spoke to you too close to you.
Mm-hmm.
Took about a year and a half. He's wonderful. He speaks to you, giving you space.
Wonderful.
So watching my population grow, watching my staff get their trainings and working with them well. I've been blessed here with staff because I've had almost no turnover with staff, and they love the job. My biggest job, in my opinion, is to make it fun for everybody.
Wonderful.
And as you see, when you come down in the morning, they're exercising,
Absolutely.
they're laughing, and they're jolly. We don't have 365 days like that, but most of them are where the VIPs, myself, and my staff don't get up in the morning and say, I don't really want to go to work. They look forward to coming in.
That's wonderful. And just like with everything, there might be some challenges that you face. Are there difficult challenges that you have to navigate?
Well, the difficult challenge basically is making sure the paperwork's in order, okay? Fitting that in with getting the schedule together, which Darielle does as my team lead. She usually does that, but when she can't, I do. Transportation could be a challenge a bit if somebody's on vacation. Then I step out of my role and I step into transporting. Like yesterday, we had 2 staff out, so I took one of the staff's groups out, and we had the other people go into other groups. That's fun for me too, because I don't get to do it frequently. But the overall challenge is just keeping everybody happy, including the caregivers, including the supports coordinators, most importantly, my VIPs and staff, and just making it get better each year. We just had our licensing, as you know, and this year we had no deficiencies, and that was 2 years in a row. Wow. So we're blessed being in this church. Beautiful. Because we went 2 years straight with no issues.
Wonderful, wonderful. So if somebody is watching this and maybe they have a disabled child or adult, and they want to reach out to CARES, how do they do that?
Well, initially, if they'd like, they could reach out to me.
Okay.
And I could explain the situation. I would ask certain questions about the abilities of their child, of their son or their daughter. And if they wanted to reach out to me, Edmond Winkeleer, 570-369-6906. And if I don't have the answers, I have several people that I can send them to, giving them phone numbers to go ahead and take steps to get into CARES. And including, I would like to know who the SC is. If they don't have a supports coordinator, that's the very, very, very first thing I would suggest that a mom, dad, or a caregiver do.
Beautiful.
Because they are an important piece of getting their child into any day program.
That's great. That's great. I know this because I think you have a sign at the Faith Methodist Church,
Okay.
And I know people know you're here, but we want people to also, more people to know the good work that you guys do here. So we want to be able to, publish and promote, some of the good work you do. So how can we be helping in that?
Well, as far as promoting, being here and being a faith church, we have great relationships with you. And everybody here is just, from maintenance right to the volunteers, they're very good with our guys. Promoting it, we just attended a fair in the local high school with the table, and there was many, many other agencies there. That's one of the ways we promote it. Exactly how you or the church would do it is really not a path I've come across yet,
Yeah.
but I can find out the
No
answer to
worries.
that for you.
Even if you guys have a signboard or something, that we can put someplace so that
Okay.
we know that your presence is here. So because we do so many activities in the church, people with
yes.
weddings,
Yeah.
funerals, Monday things. So there's always traffic here. So we wanted to make sure that the service is available and other people can find it.
Well, I definitely, when those people attend, okay, I can give you, or Anna or whomever, I can give you my business cards.
Correct.
And they can start with me.
Yes.
Because it's also going to depend on where they live. For example, my people have East Stroudsburg addresses, but it doesn't mean they're closer to me
Okay.
than to Stroudsburg. Because if they're closer to Stroudsburg, that's where I would recommend, especially if they need transportation, because the transportation could be included. If they came to me or wanted to go to Broadheadsville, which is not the closest centers, they would have to pay for transportation. And it's very expensive. Most people wouldn't, okay? So I would say, all right, I see where you live. I'm going to give you Evelyn's phone number at Faith Church. Yeah. And she's done the same with me when she knows that they live closer to me.
Yes, yes. Well, this is wonderful, and thank you for being on the program. I just want to ask if there's any compliment you've received, an unexpected compliment you've received doing this work.
Well, I do get the standard compliment of, God bless you, it takes a special person to do it. I get a lot of compliments from my superiors. I do get some from my staff. My wife's also in the field 2 years after me because she saw how happy, and I'd come home most nights just very, very satisfied for what I did.
Wonderful.
My people at my church, they know what I do, and they just think it's an excellent thing to do.
Wonderful.
I've had people, even in my family, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
You don't get this field unless you're in it.
Wonderful. Now, since you've mentioned faith, I'm a pastor, so I always want people to, share their faith story or anything that, brings them that connection with God and faith in God and dependence in God, so that people who also find faith as something they can lean on or lean into, they can also hear you and be able to be inspired.
Okay. I've had, like just about anybody, trials and tribulations in my life, some not too bad, and some where internally I was like, to pray to God every day, never lost faith. I was in a situation with a home that we had purchased, and I had gotten laid off from a good job back then. And it just seemed that financially, the house was becoming a money pit. And I just prayed, God, whatever your will is, see me and my wife out of this. And what happened was we just said, you know what, we'll put it up on the market. It wasn't in perfect condition. And we prayed once it went up, and a man who owns a construction business bought it for his daughter and granddaughters.
Wow.
And he didn't care what condition it was in,
Wow.
because he had the expertise to have it done and not charge anything for it. That was a prayer well answered, one of many throughout my life. We bought a smaller double wide, because it's only my wife and I and one cat, right here in East Stroudsburg. I wound up 10 minutes from my job, so everything worked out there. And this has been the closest I've ever been to an employer from home, 10 minutes. My previous employer was up in Newfoundland, and that was 45, 50-minute drive.
Yeah.
So I kept the faith while inside I was, I don't want to say dying, that's an exaggeration, but inside going, please, please, Lord, when?
Yeah.
Please, I don't know how much longer my wife and I can do this. Yeah. And one thing I've learned from that experience that is talked about a lot, God does it on His time,
It's time.
not mine.
Very good. Thank you so much. Any final word as you look into the camera to share with us and about yourself that nobody knows, or anything that, any final words of encouragement that you like to leave?
Well, marriage is work, WORK. And my wife and I, we had our ups and downs, but we are so happy and so proud that on November 14th, we will be married 50 years.
Wow.
And what I say is to younger people, work at it. Don't just up and walk away. It's not good for your children, especially if you have children. I know that the rate of marriages that fail is way over 50%. And I believe it's because people don't want to work at it. It's work. Sometimes it's more difficult than your career, but it's worth it in the end. And that's what I hope and pray for the younger people and even people middle-aged, that work it out. It's easy to walk away. That's the easy solution. Work at it, work at it, work at it.
Thank you so much. This is once again the Faith Conversations podcast, and we're here with Ed, who runs the CARES program here at East Stroudsburg United Methodist Church. If you have any questions, please reach out. They do a great job with the adult with disabilities in our community, and that's a great thing. If this podcast has encouraged you, please subscribe, look at it, and follow us on our YouTube page, and we appreciate it very much. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Pastor.
Sure.
I appreciate
God bless you. Yeah, thank you for
God
being
bless
here.
you
Sure.
also.